last night on the radio, you said for Nico Ladero, it's just trying to get that swelling down. When you look at that and look at his recovery, is there any worry about a long-term thing for Nico Ladero, considering the consistent swelling here recently?
I mean, with any surgery, there's always complications. There's always good moments. We'll just have to see.
One of the players we didn't hit last night was Jimmy Majonda. How's he doing?
He's fine. He'll be ready for the game.
And then looking now to RSL, the last 6.
It's rapid fire questioning today.
I guess I'll just keep rocking.
Okay, go.
The last 6, not getting a win in that. How much does that weigh on any mind, or is it just kind of focus on the next one coming up playoffs again?
I think the focus is purely on the next game.
With that though, with the way that y'all have finished up, especially with the draws, do you take any more time or possibility as far as penalty kicks or practice penalty kicks? Like, where do you feel the teams in that?
We'll practice penalty kicks closer to Jada. It's way too early to talk about PKs, but we always do. We'll train them.
You don't feel like you're more probable to get into that situation?
No.
There's been reports, and I think you disputed it, but also, I mean, there's still this talk about Raul to club him to, is that to one of the and so, I mean, is there any more to make of that, or I mean, do you what's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that is anytime a player has a good season, like Raul has, he generates interest from other teams. So other teams are throwing feelers out there. I'm sure Raul's agent is working hard on getting those feelers published. It's part of the deal.
You're not concerned?
I'm not concerned.
Coach, with a half dozen members of the team on international duty, another half dozen were injured. The best way to get 11v11 was pulling up a bunch of Tacoma Defiance guys. What's that value to you as a first team coach, knowing that you can dip down and have professionals be able to come fill out the ranks so that you can practice?
Dave, it's great. Number one, that's the answer to your question, is it's great. But the nuance there is, what I challenged Wade with this morning and what I talked to Mikey Morris about this morning and what I directed my comments to the Defiance players is this is almost like a audition for preseason next year. So who are the guys that performed well over the course of the Defiance season? Who are the guys that should join us in preseason? Perfect opportunity for some of those players to come and show the first team staff what they can do.
Kind of another checkpoint for them?
Yeah, it helps us out, answer to your question, and then it might help them out.
Most of the roster Defiance players were here.
All of them that were healthy.
Okay.
We'll probably keep that here for this first 3-day block of training. We'll take all of Wade's guys, maybe even the next 3-day block. We'll see.
Are there any that stood out today?
Today was just kind of a hybrid day, just getting the guys back up on the horse. It was a little too early to assess them, but taking mental notes.
Is there a timeline or a date that you definitely want to be able to have, your big stars on the field? I'm talking about to be together.
The normal 4-day lead-in to a game, if my math is correct, is the 19th. Is my math right there, Mickey? Okay. 19th. No. I mean, some guys might be a game day decision. Some of the internationals are going to fly back at different times during that period. We have the flights, but you never know. I mean, there's a ton of flight delays. I mean, somebody could be delayed in a flight, and if they don't show up on the 19th, they'll be here on the 20th. So, small little nuances, but we'd like to get everybody together on the 19th.
Is this week just as intense as next week? Or is this a bit lighter, I guess?
The intensity of the training session always has to be high. short, the time, what we do, some of those things are different. But the intensity always has to be high.
You also talked a little bit about Joao Paulo. Do you expect him to be ready for that game?
Yeah.
What his injury just kind of
Tight hamstring.
tight hamstring? Expect him to be ready.
I expect him to be ready.
When did that happen?
Game against LA.
Any other questions today? The RSL matchup. You got their former first goal. Their other former general manager. How much does having those resources now help you get ready for this team?
Zero. Freddie was probably the best example. I know where you're trying to angle there with the question. Freddie's probably the best resource, but Pablo's changed the team. Uche, so it's still what we see on film. Players are the same. You can pick from Freddie the individual tendencies of certain players, which helps. You can show specific film of those tendencies to the defenders for their attacking players. I mean, Krylak is a really, really good player. Rusnak's a good player. They've got some quality guys. But as far as the overall, scheme, tactics, all that, I think Pablo's changed them.
Brian, it's the 2-year anniversary of MLS Cup in 2019. Looking back on that day, is that the top of your career moments, or is there something else that hits higher than that?
Birth of my children, my wedding day.
Career-wise.
Career-wise, sure. I mean, the reason why I love that was because tickets sold out within an hour. The march of the match was nuts. My brother was there with his wife and friends, and they said it was just pandemonium, and I saw the overview shots. The game was a hard game. We broke it open after that first goal. We sent the fans home happy. It was a great day.
There's a photo that's gone around of the players lifting the cup on the stage, and you're kind of standing a ways away in front of the stage, just watching it. What was going through your head now watching them raise the cup?
Just proud of the guys and the effort they put into that year and every year. I'm not a guy that likes the limelight. I'd rather them celebrate. It's their team. It's not my team. It's their team. It's not Adrian's team. It's their team. The guys that are in that locker room do the work every day it's been a long season. They're the ones that need to reward themselves for all the work that they've done up to this point. It's their team. It's Steph's team. It's Nico's team. It's Christian's team. It's some of the young guys' team. I mean, Josh is out there, and Ethan and Reed, and it's their team. They're the ones that are going to be the future of the club. Not me, I'll be gone. I'll be on vacation somewhere.
You like to mention storyline. It's like a popular phrase of yours. Are you an avid reader?
An avid reader? Yeah, I read some books. My wife is an avid reader. She reads like 3 books a week. Yeah.
So as far as yourself, though, like what would be the last book you read and what's on the nightstand, or do you keep it on the nightstand?
Well, I mean, last book I read was Alan Hinton's memoir. I know some of you guys don't like Alan, but that's the last book I read. Then there's been a bunch of good ones,
Okay.
but that's the last book I read.
Are you an e-reader or are you actual?
No.
textile?
Actual book. We actually read the newspaper.
Thank you.
We actually read the newspaper.
I actually should have asked you which one.
The Seattle Times. And the New York Times on the weekend. But it's the actual print edition.